Adrian, wake up.
Who?
Your father had changed a lot. It poisoned him. It brought out his dark side, made him go mad. It burnt me.
Mom?
I was pregnant. Twins. The doctor said it was a miracle that I gave birth to 2 healthy children despite my burns. Despite all the suffering. A miracle. At first I didn't want you. You reminded me of him. Of what happened. Of my scars. The pain. I didn't want to live anymore. But then these 2 little things just lying there. Helpless. Innocent. I took my parents-in-law's offer. And after more than a year in various hospitals, we moved here. I needed a hiding place. I didn't want to show my face to the world. You needed a family, and yes, I thought I understood. How it had all come to that.
And Samuel?
Your father didn't know that I was still alive, and he didn't know anything about you two. I started to hate him. He ruined my life. And his parents' life. When he turned up here, after his grandfather's death, I hid myself here in my rooms, and I waited for him to disappear again. Angelina was at boarding school, far away, safe. Friends had told Victoria that Samuel was a broken man after the fire, and didn't seem so nasty anymore. But I was still afraid of him. When the first murders happened, I sensed that Samuel's dark side had returned. However, Bates reassured me. He said that Samuel gave the impression of being quite balanced. And after all, the first incident, William's death, happened before he'd arrived. They didn't believe me when I told them how quickly and completely the curse would take control of him. Bates and Victoria blame themselves for that to this very day.
What was it that drove my father and great-grandfather mad?
The castle. It's the castle.
What do you mean, the castle?
A happy child. Both of you were. You enchanted the nurses and were my guiding light in a dark night. But your behavior changed here in the castle, Adrian. We'd just been living here for a few years when you nearly killed your sister. You became aggressive, volatile. One day you pushed Angelina down the big staircase into the hall. It was a miracle that she only broke her arm. She could have been dead.
Did you give me away because of that?
I didn't give you away. It was for your own safety. But I saw Samuel's look in your eyes, Adrian. I was scared of my own little boy. Mrs. Michaels, the cook, who tried to pull me out of the flames and paid with her own health, took you on. You can't imagine how happy I was when I heard that your behavior became normal again in America.
You mean this castle made me sick? Made me go mad?
The people here believe that there is a curse on the golden males. Perhaps the curse means that they drive themselves to disaster as long as they live here.
Did Angelina grow up in the castle?
No, not really. She went to various boarding schools and was only here during the holidays. A dreary castle and a disfigured like me. Oh, not the right environment for a child. I think she was always happy when the holidays were over.
What happened then? Why did she look for me?
2 years ago, she came to visit the castle for a few weeks. She skulked around the place, read books. I didn't think she was in danger. All the other women of the family were left untouched by the curse, you see. But somehow it struck her. It made her think that she was destined for something bigger. Whispered to her power and fame. Tempting for a child who perhaps never got the attention she needed. Once we worked out that she was absorbed in things that should never have seen the light of day, we took her away from here. We reinitiated the Order and hired someone to track her down after she escaped.
Reginald Boris.
Right. Once he tracked her down to Biddeford, sheer horror broke out within the Order. What would she want from you? Your blood? We gave orders to do whatever was needed to keep Angelina away from you.
What role do Bates and Lady Victoria play in all this?
They, like me, witnessed what the curse can do to good people. So they've dedicated their lives to not letting it happen again.
They've brought the Order back into being. An Order that was founded centuries ago to fight against the curse and its repercussions.
Until it was forgotten. We've all paid dearly for that.
Who are the members of the Order?
Victoria, Bates, Eleanor, and myself are committed to the Order. But the others do the real work. The young Miss Valley, for example. She's the leader.
Because her brother Vic fell prey to Samuel.
That's right.
Did the Order imprison me in the bunker? And kidnap me and take me to Wales?
No. We first found out from Miss Valley that you were here. We decided to get you away from here and tell you the plain truth. But it was like someone disappeared from the face of the earth. We feared that Angelina had got to you.
It wasn't Angelina. Or at least not her alone. There was a man with a mask in the jail.
That wasn't one of us. Or at least I hope it wasn't. The Order searched the whole area and we finally found you in our own assembly room of all places. We drugged you and we took you to Wales, to Eleanor's old castle. Miss Valley was already on the way to explain everything to you, but when she arrived, you were gone.
Who killed Angelina?
We don't know. Victoria thinks that Angelina might have done something to herself in her madness.
Pouring gas all over herself and setting herself on fire? Nonsense.
I know. Perhaps we have another adversary that we know nothing about.
Or could it have been me?
Impossible. We followed you through the sewer system. You didn't have time to drive to the cliffs and kill her.
Then it was the great unknown?
I doubt that we don't know him. It must be someone who knows about all the incidents in the castle and knows about the Order. One of us.
Who?
If I knew, then he would already be regretting what he has done. Angelina was a good child. She had recovered, just like you had. We should have just taken her away from here forever.
And what happens to me now?
You have to get away from here, as far as you possibly can. We don't know who killed Angelina. They could also be after you.
And after my blood.
That's why we have to get you out of here and organize a new identity for you. And secondly, you have to leave here under your own will. This castle, this whole area isn't good for you. I'm afraid that you would change again. If you stayed any longer, you'll hallucinate and maybe one day do things you don't want to.
You mean I'll see things that aren't there at all?
I don't know. I only know that it made your father capable of butchering a 12-year-old boy.
All right then. I'll go. Well, see each other again?
Talk to Bates. He'll arrange plane tickets for you. You fly to Florida. We'll see each other there again in a few weeks. It's all too much. I know. But one day you'll understand. We'll talk about it, and I'll explain it all as well as I can. Goodbye, son.
So, you know now, Master Adrian.
Yes. Why didn't you say anything?
When I heard your accent, I thought it might be you, Master Adrian. But I only knew you as a child, and from what your adoptive mother said, I was only sure once you showed me the photograph of Miss Angelina.
You knew she was dead?
Yes. Her ladyship and I drove to the scene early this morning. Our source in the police informed us.
Why all the smoke and mirrors? Why didn't you just tell me what I needed to know?
We didn't know how you'd react. I went to the village a short while ago to inform Miss Valley and the others, but I couldn't find anyone. Lady Victoria thought it would be best to keep you occupied and keep an eye on you until... yes, until reinforcements arrived.
That won't be necessary. I'll go of my own will.
I'm glad to hear that. Ask Lewis for the tickets. Sally should instruct him to collect the tickets from a travel agency in the next town.
Thank you, Bates. Where are the ladies?
They've retired. The last few days were very stressful for them.
You know, there must still be an unknown antagonist.
Yes, I believe someone was working with Miss Angelina.
Someone from the castle?
Or from the village. At least someone who really knows their way around.
And ultimately cleared their partner out of the way. I'll do her a favor and vanish. I'll see her again soon, I hope. Maybe in the US. There's so much to talk about. Hey, Lewis.
What is it now?
Are you back already?
What are you talking about?
Bates said he'd sent Sally to you, so you drive her to the travel agent.
Why a travel agent? If he's thrown her out, it would be just as easy to put her on a train.
You mean Sally wasn't here?
I haven't seen her since this morning.
What's going on? Is he lying? Sally? Or is it Bates? Are one of those three the murderer? Only one of them has left the ground since I got here. Well, see you later.
Not if I see you first.
That's the kitchen. The door is locked. My God, Sally! She's dead. Oh, come on. Think, Darren. Bates may have well told her to sort out the tickets. The unknown antagonist then murdered her before she could reach Lewis. That means all three of them could be innocent. Or better yet, anyone in the castle could still be after me. Yeah, well, apart from Sally. She's the second young woman that was getting in someone's way. Her face is completely swollen. It looks as though she's been scalded. Oh, disgusting. Some bastard forced her face under the water. She either drowned or she died of shock. Is she pointing to something? What could she have been pointing to? Was something reflected there? I don't understand it. Was Sally murdered because she knew too much? Or was she simply someone who got in the way? Who was she in the way of? I should first look for some clues as to who the murderer might be. I don't want to end up telling the wrong person out there that there's a dead body in the bathroom. The window's open, but no one could have climbed in here. It'd be quite difficult to climb up the facade. The water is boiling hot. It's running. There really is something written on the tiles. A B. Like Bates. That must mean that Bates isn't the murderer. I mean, how could Sally have written a B on the tiles? And when? As her head was being held underwater and she was frantically fighting for her life? Or after the shock caused her untimely death? I'm not gonna make it that easy for you. You're gonna have to be a bit more creative to throw me off the scent. Bates is the one I can trust the most. It seems the murderer wanted to keep me away from him. There's a killer waiting for me out there. What have I got myself into? I have to talk to Bates. The killer wanted me to suspect the butler, but his misguided message only achieved the opposite. Oh no! The castle is burning! As far as I could see, parts of the large hall are in flames. I can't get out that way without protection. I'd be engulfed in the flames. Okay, think, Darren. Towels. Some of them are huge. I'll take one of the very big ones. I've already got one of the towels. That's enough. A large towel. Big enough to completely lose yourself under. Excellent. It's dripping wet. Okay, the towel is soaking wet. I'll put it over my mouth as soon as I get out of the room. Okay, Darren, take a deep breath and go for it. There's no time. I have to get out of here. The smoke is coming from the entrance hall, so the fire must be there somewhere. But it's the only way out. Bates! Can you hear me?
Adrian, my boy, it's all over. The castle.
Don't worry, I'll get you out of here.
No. I've spent my whole life in this castle, and I want to die here.
But you...
Listen, boy. This castle drove your father and his father before him to disaster. Don't let it corrupt you to defend yourself against it.
How should I defend myself against it?
Get away from here and don't ever come back. You have a life in New England waiting for you. A good life, even if you don't see it like that. Run, Darren Michaels. Run and don't ever look back.
Okay, I'll go, but not before I found Angelina's murderer.
Ah, there you are. I was starting to worry I'd started the fire too soon.
What? It was you? You killed Angelina and the others? You set fire to the castle and imprisoned me?
I started the fire, yes. And I locked you in the bunker. But I'm no murderer. So don't force me to be one.
What is all this? What do you want?
This is no time for long explanations. The car's waiting. We're going on a little trip.
All right then, Lewis. What have you got to do with the Gordons? Why are you chasing this illusion?
I'm not interested in the curse.
He's only after the money.
That's impossible!
Hello, dear brother. So, you still haven't worked it out?
What? What are you doing?
I'm fulfilling my destiny. I will evoke Mordred's power and use it for my own purposes.
And Boris? And Sally? And my adoptive mother?
She guessed who I was when I was standing at her door. She wanted to warn the Order. I couldn't allow that. She banged her head on the side table. I thought she was dead.
What's this all about? What do you want from me?
I cannot enter the Academy nor the Summoning Chamber without the blood of a male Gordon. You just can't imagine my disappointment when I had to acknowledge that Richard's blood wouldn't do, and my delight when I found you.
And the whole time you never knew about me?
No. Our mother and the others kept the secret very well hidden. But then I found some writings which told me everything. I came to Biddeford to wrap you around my little finger, and it worked well. I knew that we were bonded by something, and that you'd do anything for me.
What was all that with Reginald Boris?
The Order put him on my back, as I found out shortly after your mother's accident. Boris wanted to sideline me by putting me in the frame for Fuller's murder. My plan was to take you back with me to England, but as long as Boris was around, I was worried that he'd tell you all about me. So I flew back to England and called you up. And just as I expected, you turned up here like a shining hero to rescue me.
And your death? Who had to die for you?
The good Miss Valley built the Order back up again, after there had been no sign of it for almost 100 years. No wonder that she hung around there so much. Samuel, our father, killed her little brother Vic. I had to protect myself from her.
So you murdered her in cold blood and set her on fire?
And killed two birds with one stone. No pun intended. The Order lost its leader, and everyone thought I was dead to boot. All I had to do was forge my diary entries and lure you into the castle.
Wasn't that a big risk? Sending me into the castle?
Of course. But what choice did I have? I couldn't go myself, and Lewis had proven himself to be incapable. If anyone could fire the mosaic tiles, it was you. I guessed that you'd found out about our secret, but we always had a plan B for that eventuality.
Set fire to the castle and kill everyone in it?
How'd you arrive at that?
Mom?
Now, get in there. Stand there, Mother.
Listen, Angelina.
Shut it. Lewis, guard the door. Make sure that no one gets in or out. And you...
Let me guess. I've got to open the door.
Correct. Put the pieces in place.
Listen.
I don't think we've got anything to talk about.
You kidding?
That means I'm not interested in having a chat.
Angelina's completely resolved. She'd shoot our own mother without flinching. Don't worry, Mom. I'll get us out of here.
Shut up! You should be worrying about making some progress here.
My mother looks very tired. This is all too much for her. I've got to think of a way to overpower Angelina and get us both out of here. Lewis is standing in front of the entrance. I might be able to get past him, but I can't leave my mother behind.
I wouldn't even think about it.
I've got nothing to say to that pig. You open the gate using the stone discs. I don't know how exactly. There are 3 grooves in the stone plinth. Very narrow, but a few inches deep. That's strange. The candle on the plinth is burning. Who lit it? A completely normal candle, just quietly burning away. Judging by the weight, there's still some oil in the lamp. The oil lamp's lit. I don't need the candle anymore. The oil lamp's getting warmed up. It creates an amazing amount of light. The tile fits exactly into one of the grooves. The second tile fits too. There's just the last one missing. Okay, all the tiles are in place. There has to be something about the lion head and the flare. Maybe I can press it.
I don't think so. Cut open your hand on the wall.
You want me to...
Do it!
Don't do it, Darren. You mustn't open the gate for her.
I'll count to 3. 3.
Stop! All right. I'll do it.
That's it! Come on, get in there.
Impressive. It looks like it's been a real long time since anyone has been in here.
This is just the beginning. I can feel the power. Mordred is here. Very close.
Crap.
The Academy's builder picked 8 chosen ones who guard over the power. The gate should only be opened when all 8 are standing on these stone slabs. Otherwise, death will follow. So it says in the old writings.
Oh well, I guess we can forget that. There's just 4 of us.
Don't be stupid. You'll think of something, dear brother.
She's completely nuts. It's no good. It seems like each of the 8 slabs has to be loaded with weight. But what if one of the 8 chosen ones suddenly and irreplaceably dies? They must have taken some precautions against that happening. I better take a look around. They're gargoyles, or demons, maybe even the devil. I've got no idea, and I'm not interested. A heavy metal lattice gate. It doesn't look like it's easy to open. A huge stone door, without handles or anything like that. The stone door looks pretty heavy. I don't think I'll be able to open it that easily. There's probably nothing out there that would help me in here. Anyway, Angelina's hardly gonna let me go. Angelina?
What is it?
What do you want from me exactly?
You still don't get it. Have I got one stupid brother or what? Open the grate. You only have to press on all of the stone slabs.
On my own. How am I supposed to do that?
You'll think of something.
You have to stand on one of the stone slabs.
So I can then get a knife in my ribs. I don't think so.
The stone slabs are connected to the grate. If you don't stand on them, I can't open the grate.
Then she should stand on it. Where should she go?
My poor mother is completely terrified. She's reliving the horror with Samuel all over again, with her own daughter. She's completely lost her mind.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. A total of 8 stone slabs embedded in the floor. Let's see. That wasn't so great. A stone slab in the floor with a red symbol on it and decoration all around it. There are holes in the wall there. Must surely be for some cunning trap. No, I'm not doing that. There's a note lying here. There's a semicircle drawn on the note. It's made up of 8 different symbols. I reckon that this is some kind of a user manual for the floor slabs. There's a knife or something drawn on the 3rd tile from the left. Also, there's a flower on the outer left one. The left-hand middle one has a sun. The right-hand middle one has water. And the outer right one is a snowflake. Okay, very carefully now. A knife was released when the trap was sprung. I'll take it. I think there's some old dried on blood on the blade. Or maybe rust. No thanks. I'll pass on that one. Mom?
Yes. Enter.
Please stand on that stone slab.
If you say so.
Through there is a room with stone columns. There's water here, but the light can only penetrate a few feet down. It might be 10 feet deep. It might be 100 feet deep. I'd never ever dive in there. The murals look ancient. The colors are slowly fading. The dampness is probably not good for them. A repulsive figure. Some demon or other. Or perhaps a mythical creature. People in medieval times were very superstitious. For them, nature was full of spirits, demons, and miracles. There was no other way to explain what was going on around them. I find this motif unusual. In the Middle Ages, they either painted religious themes or scenes from everyday life. This here is just trees. There's some kind of mechanism fitted here. Lots of symbols. What a surprise. It says here, dress of green and hat of white, all would agree a welcome sight, with bells that in the wind do swing, heralding the start of spring. On this panel is written, make things harder, make things softer, make a rich man, make a pauper. Not too close, but love me true, too close and I'll devour you. There's a rhyme on the panel. Sails I have, but sail I don't, at least not on the sea. But round and up and down, working hard for thee. Grinding up with my back teeth, producing, as I said, the main ingredient which you need to make your daily bread. Here's written, in the air it flies, on the ground it lies. It adorns the trees, makes old men wheeze. On the stove it melts, from gray skies it pelts. That didn't work. There must be another answer. Perhaps I should read through the slabs again. I'm sure I'll get it. And then I've got to adjust the answer symbols to fit the appropriate seasons. That's it. A box with some kind of walking stick or bar or something like that in it. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize the spring. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize summer. This box is empty. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize winter. Through that door is the room with the paving slabs. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize summer. Somehow it doesn't fit properly. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize the spring. The stone slab is locked into place, but nothing else is happening. I've pushed the appropriate bar into the opening. The slab should be deactivated. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize summer. Looks like the stone slab is locked into place. I've pushed the appropriate bar into the opening. The slab should be deactivated. A richly ornate staff from out of the puzzle room. I think it's supposed to symbolize winter. I think I've deactivated the stone slab. At least it's locked into place. I've pushed the appropriate bar into the opening. The slab should be deactivated. Mom?
Yes, Adrian.
Would you please stand on the stone slab right there?
Is it safe?
Yes. Trust me.
Oh, all right then.
Some stairs leading upwards. Unbelievable. The machines and apparatus look quite complicated and are made of metal. I didn't think people were capable of something like this centuries ago. A genius must have designed it all. Why are people so creative when it comes to weapons, war, and combat? If they were capable of building something like this, imagine all the good things they could have devised. No idea what these gears do. They're probably connected with the traps and the ropes. A huge block of stone. It's gotta weigh at least a ton. The weight must be keeping the big lattice gate down there closed. A rope that must be connected to the mechanism. I can't tell where it leads. It certainly looks like it's holding something up. A big panel of bars and buttons. Looks complicated. That's, no idea what that is. They're the same symbols here as on the big panel next to the stairs. I'm absolutely certain that they're connected. Levers, bars, buttons. I can choose whether I want to select the symbol on the left or right with the little levers. The bars can be moved, and it seems like I can enter the answer with the big button. I reckon that this page isn't going to help me much more without the rest of the diary. I guess that the mechanism for the side doors is attached to the rope. The cylinder shows a spear. A knife is shown. The cylinder shows a spear. Okay, I think I know now which rope I have to cut to spring the right trap. The stone block should land on the slab. I hope I'm not mistaken. The stairs here lead down to the room where Angelina will shoot her own mother if I'm not careful. A trap is shown on the cylinder. Not the one I'm looking for. I guess that a red symbol in the series shows on which slab the trap will be sprung. I guess that the mechanism for the side doors is attached to the rope. A trap is shown on the cylinder. Not the one I'm looking for. The spear on the instructions implies that a spear trap is connected to this. A spear is shown for this rope on the stone panel. There's a knife trap attached to this rope. I'm sure of that. The door to this room must be attached to the rope. It looks a bit different than the other ones, but the door is open after all. The rope's gotta be connected with that door down there. There's a trap attached to this rope, like on the others. I guess that a red symbol in the series shows on which slab the trap will be sprung. In this case, it would then be the slab at the far right, the one with the blue edge. The spear on the instructions implies that a spear trap is connected to this. Perhaps I can use that to my advantage and lure Angelina and Louis onto one of the slabs. It's gotta be the right rope for the stone weight. Quickly now. Hopefully this is the right rope.
What are you doing?
That was...
One more slip up like that, and our mother gets it. Got it?
Yes, all right. It won't happen again.
That's what I thought.
Okay, now 4 of the stone slabs are deactivated, and Catherine's standing on one of them. This is my chance. I've got to convince Angelina and Lewis to stand on the wrong slabs. Hopefully my plan's gonna work. There's a heavy trap on the stone slab, pushing it into the floor. The lattice gate opens using the mechanism up there somehow. The stone slabs also have something to do with it. Angelina?
What is it?
Listen, there's really no other way. We'll have to stand on the remaining slabs if the gate's gonna open.
All right then. But if there's any messing around...
Got it. I think I've disarmed all the traps. Mom, you stay there. Lewis stands over there.
I think we should swap places. You got nothing against that, have you?
Do what you want.
Very clever. And so ruthless.
Don't worry. You're next.
The weight is on the slab. What are you waiting for?
Lewis is dead. Don't you care?
He wouldn't have left these ruins alive anyway. Go on.
That's gotta be the gate to Mordred's prison. That's why my father finally went completely mad. Some kind of holder. But what goes in it?
Finally. Go on. Lead the way. Yes, Master.
What? Was that Mordred?
Run! Ah!
Whoa, let's get out of here. Lewis is lying there dead. Another corpse on Angelina's bloody path to psycho madness.
I heard something.
The order. That must be the order.
Stop him! He mustn't be allowed to evoke him!
Calm down, people. Damn! I'm on your side. Damn idiots. They want to make sure. Angelina isn't here, and she hasn't gone past me. Either she's still in the summoning chamber, or got in the labyrinth some other way. The side doors closed when the lattice gate opened. My mother's lying injured on the ground back there. And Angelina's also sneaking around here somewhere. Whoa! The side doors closed when the big gate opened. There's a seriously deep abyss that way. Behind me is the Order. They'd rather kill me than think first.
He went that way.
There's no choice. I have to face up to Angelina. It could be a trap. Maybe it's the only chance to save Mom. Is she here?
No.
Come, let's get you out of here.
No. Don't you understand, Adrian? It's not about me. It's not only about you either. Your father caused a lot of suffering, and I don't want you to become guilty too.
I don't intend to.
That's not your decision. These are powers that are greater than a single person.
Exactly. It's about infinite power. Divine power. Power that has been sleeping for too long. To the altar!
Screw you.
I don't like to repeat myself. Go to the altar and read from the book.
I don't like to repeat myself either. Screw you.
The next bullet is going through your kneecap.
You won't get me further without me. You can't kill me. You need me.
But I don't need her. And what can you do without an eye? A hand?
There is no curse. It's a mental illness. It's passed down from generation to generation and causes delusions.
Delusions. And what do you call this? Read.
So the cow who said here, Caraxo Zodere, Motarebi, Vaxto Sabra Ve, Malior Vaxto Sabra Malior im Ibute, Amenia Vibusadir, Amena Voxataka.
Yes! Yes! And now?
Angelina, it's lunacy! Even if there was a curse, then it'd only affect the male Gordons.
No. No! Me too. I can hear them. The voices. They whisper to me. Always since you went.
Angelina, please!
I'm sorry, dear brother. I need your blood and no other.